What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at some custom tactics. If you are struggling in the game, then definitely have a look at this and try and experiment. We'll be trying to do a couple formations that I personally use. I'm trying to get used to because I'm trying to find the best formation that I play. Obviously, this is the team that we're rocking at the moment. It could do with some work. I think left back, right backs could be upgraded massively, but at this moment in time, I'm not too fussed as of yet. Again, Kuleveski could be upgraded, but is an upgradable card. We want to see how that goes. Tchouaméni and Kessie are incredible. Nunez is just an unreal 82, and Mbappe is an untradeable striker that saves me more times than not. And the formation we're going to look at today is the 4-2-2. I've been seeing a lot of pros using this, and I've only recently started to try it out. So I wanted to see if it works and kind of get used to it and kind of get them different tactics on the go, as I've kind of just been rocking the basic 4-4-2, and we'll go over that in a different video. But today is the 4-2-2 and the most meta tactics that you can get. Personally, for me, I like the balance. I'm pretty much balanced direct passing the whole way through. Nothing too crazy on these width and depths, 50 and 55, as well as the direct passing. As you can see on the screen, if you look through the options, you've got your forward runs. And I personally would say if you are more a holding the ball play, possession might be the way for you. It is very slower build up, and if you are good at that, you're very good at the kind of pressured situations in the box, that is going to be absolutely perfect for you. I am personally very forward attacking. I like that 1, 2, 3 balls straight in that box, get the shot off. Doesn't always pay off against the top level, but definitely as the average to above average, it works relatively well. Width, again, 50, pretty standard. 5 in the box, as I do like having them a little bit of options. I would experiment between 2 and 3 people on these corners. I personally like, as you see, that second one in the box. Not quite the closest to goal, but that second one is where I'm testing new corners out and basically a new way that you can do that. Free kicks, I'm not too fussed. If I'm going for the shot, then obviously it doesn't matter who's in the box. If I'm going for a pass, again, it doesn't matter. So that for me is, again, a little bit of a left one. In terms of the formation then, so this is personally how I go. Obviously, Kessie and Tchouaméni will be 2 CDMs in here. We've got Mbappe shifting to the left, as I have a specific tactic on him to stay central and get him behind, but onto his of a stronger foot. Nunez is going to be there just as an option, either for the head, because I'll tend to use Sterling, as you'll see in the tactics, but also then he can go across goal with anything of that. In terms of the instructions then, so we'll start from the back. We'll go with the left backs, pretty standard as most people will go. Stay back whilst attack on both. They can overlap at times when kind of you're using them and you've gone with the LB run. So obviously they make the 1-2. They'll overlap them, and then obviously normally I get Tchouaméni, Kessie that cover that until one of them is back. Into the CDMs. So we've got 2 here. We've got, again, stay back whilst attack on both of them. We've got cover center, which I think is a pretty standard for any CDM. But then we also have something called position freedom this year in deep lying playmaker. So basically what this is, and this one is a new one to me. I've been testing it out this week and it's been doing relatively decently, to be honest. What it basically means is, and we'll show you in some gameplay, is when you have got the ball, say for instance Sterling Robertson's got the ball, they will drop in to give you an option, but say then I pass to Kessie, Tchouaméni will do the exact same, and then once you've passed it back, they'll go back into their formation. But what they do is they give you that pass option really deep on, so that you know that if, say, someone's covering Sterling, and then you've also got somebody who can then push forward to Robertson who's got the ball, he'll give you that third option. And to be honest, if a player can mark 3 people at the same time, I know it is possible in this game, but if they can and they're at that level, then fair enough. You just go back to Van Dijk. You maybe switch it to Trent because you know that they physically cannot go that side. So that personally is where I go with them 2 CDMs. I think it works relatively well, and it takes a bit of getting used to. Like I say, you've got to have a few games into this, but it is definitely possible. Then onto the 2 cams. We've got 2 different ones here. We've got basic on everything bar from get into the box with obviously Kuleveski, and then also on Sterling we have get into the box for crosses, but then position wise I want him drifting wide. He's explosive. I want to get the ball to him and then make that run straight away. Pull out the wide right back and then go down the wing, maybe look for a Mbappe, and then obviously if you need the help, Robertson and Kessie will be behind him so far, because obviously they're stay back whilst attack. And then we move on to the strikers. Again, pretty standard for these two. We've got stay central, get in behind on Mbappe. No actual defensive support because he's got relatively decent stats throughout. I'm quite happy for him to drift back a little bit and then hit Nunez on the attack. And then obviously he can get in behind from there. Nunez is stay central, get in behind and stay forward because I don't want him up and down. I know he hasn't necessarily got the stamina pace to do it all game. That's why Mbappe's doing that job. And Nunez can sit there and almost be a target man at times, but then also have them runs in behind with obviously his lengthy style. And that is pretty much it. As we see, with the corners, I'm trying something a little bit different with the left and right corners both being their same foot to get a little bit of an outswing. We're still perfecting it. I've kind of seen a few things there, but let's jump into some gameplay. I'll show you a little bit of what I'm on about, and we can see what you think from there. So to start off with, obviously you want to see their team. I know it's a bit annoying waiting, but we can kind of see where their weak points and strong points are. This gun's with a 4-3-3. Not too worried about Rashford. He's just not necessarily the quickest in the world now, and especially with Varane on his side, I believe, that shouldn't be too much of an issue. But what will come from that problem is having that 4-3-3. It's not necessarily going to be the easiest. You can see from that break attack, Sterling's pushed really wide out there. We can hit him absolutely straight on. Kessie's dropped into that middle bit, and we know then we could potentially either go for a stupid long ball. We were looking for Mbappe there, but you can go for that stupid long ball or obviously go for the short option back to Sterling. And now you see with this getting behind, obviously Mbappe is always racing for it. And the best thing with having a top tier striker is that they are going to follow him. So that does give you more room for Nunez to get in behind. We see there we've got 4 in the box. Again, when we come back out, we see Tchouaméni, Kessie both sitting up nicely, giving you that almost... not necessarily impenetrable, because a through ball can be very, very dangerous the whole time, no matter where you are on the pitch. But it most definitely gives you that little balance to almost have that 4 in the box and make something from it as such. We've always got somebody standing back here, and I think the defense side of stuff, especially to start with when you're not necessarily the most confident at defending, the brand new game, you don't want that to happen, and you want to make sure that you've always got men back waiting for the ball, because there's nothing worse than maybe having 1 or 2 extra men up front and just kind of not where you need it. I don't need Kessie or Tchouaméni really anywhere near the attacking force, because that is going to be where they need to be in the defense. So we've got a pretty good up front line. So we've got Kulusevski. This guy is definitely solid at defending. But we have got Kulusevski, we've got then Sterling, Mbappe, Nunez. That should be more than enough to attack anybody. And if you're going to need another man, then I think then the different style of striking is what you need, because you've literally got 4 people who can shoot. Mbappe's always going to find that bit of space outside the box. But then we've also got then the 6 at the back almost. And yes, it is a little bit boring at times because you want to have that fluidity of kind of so many options up front. But sometimes you've got to be a little bit more patient. You've got to be able to almost have that defense ready and waiting in case, say now we have 5 up front, we need to have that back line here. They can already push back. We've got both of them there. He's going to have to go for that long through ball, which then you can try and cut out as quick as possible. Then Kessie's been bought out, but then, oh, well, that's fair enough. But then you obviously have the 4 at the back after Kessie and Tchouaméni have been taken out of the game, if that is the case. The formation is definitely focused more on that heavy defensive side, so potentially this is kind of like a balanced formation. When potentially it is 0-0, maybe even a cheeky 1-0, you could then kind of go with that formation. But I would say if you are 2-3 down, you've got, say, 30-40 minutes left, you're not necessarily going to get the high-flowing game unless you are absolutely perfect with every pass and every sort of movement with it. If I was kind of down, needing the win, I may go for something a little bit more attacking, and this is kind of more your balanced gameplay when you're either 1-up yourself or obviously just starting the game off. But that's going to be the video. Let me know down below what your custom tactics are right now. And if there's any other formations you want me to test out, leave that in the comments section below. Make sure you're liking this, and let's see Nunez through if he's not offside, which he is. Take care. Peace.